So you can call this diagram as the hierarchy of courts. We're just going to have a basic understanding. Hierarchy of court means that Supreme Court is the highest court in Pakistan. Then there are these provincial courts, which are known as high courts. For example, Peshawar High Court, High Court of Balochistan, High Court of Sindh, and High Court of Lahore. These are at the provincial level. Then we have the district session courts and additional district and session courts. These are at the district and divisional level and at tehsil level. And then we have the civil courts, which are at the lowest of the hierarchy. But then again, civil courts are further divided into three types. Civil senior judge level 1, level 2, and then level 3. Now, just a basic understanding, all of your civil cases, which means a dispute between two parties, are going to go to these courts. They will directly go to these courts. And all of your criminal cases, which means if you're breaking any law, are going to go to these courts, which are the district session and the additional district session courts. So we have the civil courts and we have the session courts. All criminal cases are going to go to the session court and all civil cases are going to go to the civil courts. Now, these are also known as the trial courts. These judges are going to decide about your civil case. If your criminal case is filed here, they are going to have a trial. So these two courts are also known as the trial courts. Now, let's suppose if you're not satisfied with the decision of these courts, you can file an appeal to the high court saying or applying that there might have been some flaws in deciding the case, so this court can hear my case. Now, how do we first differentiate between the trial and the appeal? So in the trial, as we already discussed, it is going to be a formal examination of witnesses and evidences. But in the High Court, these things are not going to be dealt again. For example, the High Court is not going to be looking at the evidences or calling the witnesses in the court. But the High Court will only look at the book of trial that was created in the trial court and listens to lawyers from both sides, and then they are going to decide if the decision was correct or not, or was it in accordance to law, or does it have any flaws. And based on that, they are just going to give you a decision. They won't give you a lot of time. They'll give you maybe half an hour or an hour to listen to the case, and then they're going to decide. Now, let's suppose if you're not satisfied with the decision of the High Court, you're going to go to the Supreme Court and file an appeal. Now, the Supreme Court will also look at the decision of the High Court and decision of the trial court and what happened in trial. And after their analysis, they're also going to decide about the case. Now, the decision of the Supreme Court is the final decision. You cannot actually simply challenge it. You can go for review, which means you can ask the Supreme Court to again review it, maybe by some senior judges, but the decision of the Supreme Court is the final decision. Now, there's one option that is left, is the appeal for mercy, and that can be filed to the President of Pakistan. Now, this appeal, which we file to the President of Pakistan, is not to review the decision of the Supreme Court, but this is to ask for mercy. We also call it Raham ki appeal. So the president of Pakistan has the power to pardon, that he or she can reduce or completely remove the punishment that has been given by the Supreme Court or a High Court or any other court. So this is a system. Now, in simple words, these two courts are known as the trial courts because usually trial is taking place in these courts. And these two levels of courts are known as the appellate courts, which comes from the appeal. There are some cases which are of very serious nature. For example, if there is a case of constitutional law, so Supreme Court can also hold a trial. If there is a case of importance, maybe a criminal importance, but it is a high level case, then High Court can also go for a trial. But normally, these two courts are known as the trial courts. Usually, trial takes place here. And these two courts are known as the appellate courts, where appeal is filed. So, this is all about the hierarchy of courts in Pakistan.